During my first week in Busan, Korea, I had this idea to link one temple, 2 peaks, and 3 fortress gates in one adventurous hike. Initially, on my calculations, it looked like it was going to be about a 13-kilometer hike. The weather was really favorable. The trail started out with a very man-made set of features, and I found this air pressurizer which said, "Don't blow it on your face." So I did. As usual, I decided to remove my earphones for most of the hike, just to spend time present as possible. The start of the hike was very steep. I won't lie, it was really steep, but the weather was great. Being out in the wilderness is always the most pleasurable thing, and it gives me a lot of time to think and pray and just meditate on creation and God. When I arrived at the top, it was insane. I could not believe it. This was my genuine reaction. I did not record this after. The view over Busan. Many cities are built with parks included. This city feels like it's built around parks. I tried to climb onto this rock spire, but it was about a 2-story drop.
Nobody knows that I'm up here, so it's probably safe if I go.
I did find another one though, and if you listen, you can hear there was a group of Korean hikers who thought I was quite hilarious. There's the next peak I was aiming for, and the first fortress gate is supposed to be over there. At this point, I was definitely the highest, but only about 1.5 k in. The trail had these incredible boardwalks and it was very manicured, which was super enjoyable. And I arrived at the first fortress gate and definitely gave me vibes of a zombie apocalypse sort of construction. Apparently it was built because of the Japanese invaders. I decided to hike along this wall. At points it was really run down. Apparently they're trying to repair it, but bit by bit. I arrived at the second gate around 2 hours in at this point, and wasn't as impressive as the first one, but well worth visiting. The staff who were working there were very kind, and they ran out of the way so I could take that clip. I also found this little tiny house which was just absolutely beautiful, the little garden. I decided to pop down into town and find lunch because I actually didn't bring any food along. After seeing these little kittens on the roof, there were cats all over this town. These ones were definitely the cutest though. I found the cheapest restaurant. There was only one lady. She could speak a little English, which is fairly rare for these small towns. But I made a critical mistake. I ate way too much food and then hiked off really, really fast. It was enjoyable, and I reaped the consequences a little bit later, as you'll see.
Hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just good giving it to a nut. Wow, that's cool. Nice people.
I stumbled across a random temple. I didn't know this existed, but after investigating, I discovered that this is one of the key temples in the whole of South Korea. It was built for the monks and the builders of the wall, as well as for people defending South Korea from the Japanese. Now the next bit doesn't really feature on video very much because that food kicked into play, and I hiked about 2 kilometers, no footage, desperately needing the bathroom. It was a terrible experience, but after emptying my guts in the toilet, I actually felt okay, so I decided to continue, although I could have bailed. At this point, I realized that my 13-kilometer expectation was wrong, as I had just hit 15 kilometers and had about 5 k's to go. I found another temple which I didn't know existed, so, well, that's 2 temples of the desired one. This one was one of the most beautiful, but unfortunately I had to rush through it because I discovered that I might get stuck in the dark hiking alone in a foreign country. So I moved quick and had to quickly appreciate this view. Oh, what a place. This country is beautiful. After a fast trot to the 3rd gate and having a look around at the zombie apocalypse defense walls, I hiked down to the bottom, aiming for the temple I was actually trying to visit. This is one of the biggest temples around, and as you'll see just now, is absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, most of it is closed off because of prayer times, but at least I got to see some of it. At this point, it was 20 kilometers in, my legs were a little shaky. I had been hiking for 7 hours and every minute was amazing. What a privilege. I'm so glad that I traveled to Korea, even if it's by myself. I'm going to try and make a video every couple of weeks. Hope you enjoyed this journey. Visit Korea if you can.